How to prepare for the marriage green card interview. The last step of the marriage green card process is the interview. Depending on where you applied from, the interview will take place either in the US or abroad. The interviewing officer's main goal will be to make sure your relationship is real. We'll go over some common questions asked in the interview, as well as some helpful tips. Typical questions during the marriage green card interview are your relationship history. How did you meet? Where did some of your first dates take place? How long did you date before deciding to get married? What's the story of your marriage proposal? Your wedding. What was your wedding like? Who attended your wedding? What food was served? Were there any special rituals performed? If so, what kind? Did you go anywhere for your honeymoon? If so, where? Your daily routines. What's daily life like for you and your spouse around the house? How do you start your day? How often do you text or talk on the phone when you're apart? Which of you likes to cook? Which of you likes to clean? Your kids, if any. How do your kids get to school? Who are their friends? What are their favorite foods? Do they play any sports? If so, what? Your personal habits and needs. What side of the bed do you sleep on? What pajamas do you wear? What medications does your spouse take? Big events, rituals, or celebrations. When are your birthdays? What did you do to celebrate? What did you get each other as gifts? What's the most important holiday of the year in your household, and where do you typically celebrate it? Some helpful tips. Be honest and open about your relationship. You aren't obligated to portray a perfect marriage. Some interviewing officers will ask very personal questions. If you find a question too offensive, you can let the officer know and choose not to answer. Most officers will understand and move on to the next question. Make sure you rehearse before your interview. Even people in long-term marriages can find these interviews stressful, but the more you practice, the less anxious you'll be. It's better to be over-prepared than under. Remember to have fun. You get to stroll down memory lane and make sure your spouse really does know what you like to eat for breakfast. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Boundless on YouTube. Thanks for watching.